of the Open Public Meetings Act, the I-1975 CH-231. It was properly noticed and has been posted and certified by the clerk. I would like to point out that the fire exits are off here to my right and in the back to the left where you just came in. Roll call.
Mr. Hofferkamp.
Here.
Ms. Johnson.
Here.
Ms. Roberts is not here. Ms. Rodriguez.
Here.
Ms. Smith. Mr. Smith.
Here.
Mayor Galate.
Here. If I can ask you to turn your ringers off and then join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So we are going to divert a little bit from our agenda today. Normally, we would have our committee reports. We're going to move our proclamations up for Eagle Scouts. So our first one is for Kevin. Whereas the strength and spirit of a community are reflected in the activities, success, and accomplishments of its citizens. And whereas Kevin McGroarty, a member of Troop 191, officially earned his rank as Eagle Scout on February 7th, 2024, which is the highest achievement attainable in Boy Scouts. And whereas for his service project, Kevin chose to remove old and damaged wood timbers in front of the Department of Public Works, their office and parking area. He also repaired and replaced stones around the DPW flagpole, and the project was completed on October 18th, 2023. Whereas Kevin has proven through hard work and perseverance that he is a skilled leader, capable of reaching out to his community in a meaningful way. His project was an act of kindness for people in need that sets him apart from the ordinary and inspires all of us. It is with great admiration that I congratulate and recognize Kevin McGroarty's accomplishments. Now therefore, I, Marie Galati, Mayor of the Borough of Hopatcong, hereby proclaim March 21, 2024 as Kevin McGroarty Day. And from what I understand, March 21 is also Kevin's birthday. So that Whereas the strength and spirit of a community are reflected in the activities, successes, and accomplishments of its citizens. And whereas Xander Saito, a member of Troop 88, Hopatcong, New Jersey, Patriots Pack Council, Boy Scouts of America, officially earned his rank as Eagle Scout on October 25th, 2023, which is the highest achievement attainable in Boy Scouts. And whereas for his service project, Xander chose to build benches for Hopatcong Veterans Memorial Field and Squire Field. These 4 benches benefit the Hopatcong Hawks Soccer Club and the community that uses the fields. Prior to this project, the soccer fields had no permanent benches. Whereas Xander has proven through hard work and perseverance that he is a skilled leader, capable of reaching out to his community in a meaningful way. His project was an act of kindness for people in need that sets him apart from the ordinary and inspires all of us. It is with great admiration that I congratulate and recognize Xander Saito's accomplishments. Now therefore, I, Marie Galati, Mayor of the Borough of Hopatcong, hereby proclaim March 22nd, 2024 as Xander Saito Day. Oh. Whereas the strength and spirit of a community are reflected in the activities, successes, and accomplishments of its citizens. And whereas Cole Ferrer, a member of Troop 88, Hopatcong, New Jersey, Patriots Pack Council, Boy Scouts of America, officially earned his rank as Eagle Scout on January 31, 2024, which is the highest achievement attainable in Boy Scouts. And whereas for his service project, Cole chose to renovate a bocce ball court at the Hopatcon Senior Center. This project included the building of new scoreboards as well as benches and the replacements of about 80% of the wood, as it had all rotted away. The entire court was landscaped to flatten out the courts, and they were painted. Thanks to Cole's hard work, the Hopatcon community, and most importantly, the seniors, can safely enjoy the outdoor area of the bocce ball courts. And whereas Cole has proven through hard work and perseverance that he is a skilled leader, capable of reaching out to his community in a meaningful way. His project was an act of kindness for people in need that sets him apart from the ordinary and inspires all of us. It is with great admiration that I congratulate and recognize Cole Ferrer's accomplishments. Now therefore I, Marie Galati, Mayor of the Borough of Hopatcon, hereby proclaim March 23rd, 2024 as Cole Ferrer Day. Thank you for all of you that came out to support these Eagle Scouts.
Yeah, exactly.
I know. I can stand in front of it. Thank you. Thank you. We should have a party now. It's always so exciting to see all of the accomplishments of our children as they go through the system from the Boy Scouts all the way up to Eagle Scout. It's a very, very dear honor to have accomplished. So moving on to our committee reports. We actually have Dan McCarthy, who is the Hopatcon Commissioner of the Lake Hopatcon Commission, who is here to report. He is going to be doing quarterly reports for us to keep us updated on what's happening at the Lake Hopatcon Commission and what's happening with our lovely jewel of a lake, Lake Hopatcon.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Council. I thought this is my first presentation in some time, and some of you are new to me, and for the benefit of the audience, I thought I would just do an overview for tonight and hit upon some of the topics. For the benefit of the newcomers and the public, my connection to Lake Hopatcon runs deep. It goes back to September 15th, 1885, when my great-grand aunt and great-grand uncles purchased property in what was then Gessler Cove, now Davis Cove, and they paid taxes to the township of Byron. So we still continue to pay our taxes here. I want to get that point on the record. Loud and clear. For my background, again, my family was a summer residence primarily until 1969, at which time my mother moved here full-time. So that means that myself and later my two sons are all K-12 graduates of the school system. I was appointed to the Lake Hopatcon Regional Planning Board by Mayor London after I resigned from being vice chairman of the town planning board, because it's a conflict of interest to be on the town planning board and also appear in front of the municipal court, according to an ethics opinion I found out. So I tried to get off the hook, and he pulled me right back in and said, well, I'm going to put you on the Lake Hopatcon Commission. I mean, the Regional Planning Board, which later became in 2001, the Lake Hopatcon Commission. So when I first jumped on the commission, I was Mayor Hodgson's alternate. And when he left, I've been holding that seat ever since. I had a situation in 2016 when our chairman resigned, and they asked me to be acting chairman. The governor took 18 months for a replacement to be appointed, so I had to be acting chair and de facto administrator, chief cook and bottle washer for 18 months. So those were kind of the dark days, but I'm happy to say that things have improved greatly since then. We finally have some funding, not exactly all of what we hoped, but we do have some money. We got stuff going on. So now for some of the hot topics, weed harvesting. The boats are supposed to be in the water May 1st. Harvesting is supposed to start the second week of May. They're going to start at the state park because we have some new people, and they're going to be training staff. Safety protocols because of the accident years ago. There's a really rigorous safety program. They're going to be training new hires, and that's going to take place at the state park in that area out in front of the beach. Then they're going to move to Crescent Cove, which is always like the first hot spot in terms of weeds. The other bit of news is the 60-inch drawdown successfully completed. Water is now flowing over the dam. So that's behind us, which is good. We are in the process of, I mean, us, the state, DEP, are in the process of reviewing and updating the water level management plan. That's the plan which controls the level of the lake, the annual drawdowns, which are normally supposed to be 26 inches, but they're doing a pilot program for the foreseeable future for 22 inches. They want to test out 22 inches as opposed to 26 to see if they can keep it higher and still not have damage to lakefront structures due to ice. But we haven't had any real meaningful ice for some time, so that's why that pilot program is going to keep rolling along. The thing with the water level management plan, there's a citizens advisory committee consisting of representatives from the commission, the towns, Lake Musconetcong, river folks, people downstream. We're all members of the citizens advisory committee. We're supposed to advise the state on the water level management plan and its updates. And yearly, we're supposed to have an annual meeting and go over the plan and see if there's any changes or fine tuning needs to be done. That meeting took place a few weeks back. There is a move on, it was suggested by Morty Kane, who's the president of the foundation, and myself, to reorganize the Citizens Advisory Committee, have it be run by the Lake Hopatcong Commission rather than the state. It would still operate in the same way, still have representation from all those interested groups, as I mentioned, but we'd be able to have better control over it and have more frequent meetings. So the state seems actually in favor of that. So we're going to be implementing that, hopefully. Let's see. The other bit of news is the fountain is supposed to start up again this year after a hiatus since 1987, plus or minus. They did a test run a few weeks back successfully. We're going to stock our trout for the trout habitat study April 13th. We're going to stock another 1,000 trout, 12 to 14 inches. The idea is the trout are going to be tagged, and we're going to be asking all anglers to report catches. The idea is we're trying to see if trout hold over through the winter, because if they do that, a good trout habitat is a sign of a healthy lake. So we want to know that the trout can, whether or not they can survive over the winter. So this year's tags are going to be caramel or butterscotch in color. So if anybody catches any trout with tags, they should be reported on the commission's website. There's a link. The other thing that's very important to the borough of Hopatcong is what's been going on in Byram Cove during the summer. We are at the commission level are very sensitive to our residents and the noise and the commotion and the trouble. Pleased to report that there is a joint effort with the state police, the Morris County Sheriff's Office, and most importantly, the Hopatcong Borough Police Department under the leadership of Lieutenant Tracy, who has been very outgoing, and he's a force to be reckoned with in this issue. He's getting police out into Byram Cove. I know they're going to be working on an MOU or MOA with the state park to get a boat. So that will be very helpful, because I can tell you years ago, you'd call the state police about a problem in Hopatcong and Byram Cove. They'd say, well, we don't enforce local ordinances. You'd call the borough to complain. They'd say, well, we don't have a boat, and everybody's going like this, and the problem doesn't get solved. Now it seems like there's actually meaningful action to solve that problem. Lastly, I'm going to leave you with one provocative thought, which is like an issue that I've always been mentioning and it hasn't gotten any traction. And I don't know if we'll get traction tonight, but it has to do with the River Styx and the development of River Styx. We want that to be our town center, everything like that. That's all well and good. But what's missing is a link to Lake Hopatcong, someplace where you can come, tie up your boat, go to a deli, get some subs, go to the grotto, get a pizza, shop, do whatever. There used to be public docks around the lake years ago. We used to be able to go to Jefferson and go to a dock and walk up to a deli. So that connection between the lake and the borough is something I'd like to see. I don't know how we can do that. We can get a municipal dock somewhere, but that's a challenge which I'd like to see, looked at. My next scheduled visit is supposed to be June 19th. That's the schedule I've worked out with the mayor. Certainly I can come in and appear if there are any emergent issues. And I will point out that to my left, your right, is Commissioner Hofer Camp, also known as Councilman Hofer Camp. He's a member of the commission. He's Sussex County's representative. And of course, our own Mayor Galate is my alternate. So there's plenty of coverage for lake-related issues, but certainly I'll come in anytime anybody has any questions or concerns. You can call me or email me with any concerns that you have. Last but not least, I'll remind everybody that our website is lakehopatcongcommission.org. Our next upcoming meetings are April 8th, May 13th, and June 10th, all starting at 7 p.m. That's all I have. Does anybody have any questions?
Thank you. I have a question. The fountain, I know the fountain was tested, but is that going to go into construction for the fence that they're asking for around it?
It's part of the approved plan for the fountain rehabilitation is a fence. And the rehabilitation has been sponsored, of the fountain has been sponsored and paid for by the Lake Hopatcong Historical Society through fundraising and things like that. And part of the approved plan is a fence. And they're talking about, Marty says they're gonna have a fence maybe, knee high or thigh high so that it clearly demarcates the fountain area to keep people out. Or a taller iron fence, something period correct, something decorative. But the state park obviously is insisting that some kind of fence be put around it. But when the fountain was originally constructed, it was like it is right now with no fence. So that, the fence is supposed to be part of the project. And by the way, little known fact, very important fact, that fountain, people look at it, say, isn't that a pretty fountain? Decorative, artistic, and all that. Well, it's more than that. It's actually a water meter. That fountain was designed to let out exactly 12 cubic feet per second, which is the amount that they determined would suffice to feed the river and keep the lake high. So if that fountain is running, then and there's no water going over the dam or no water going out the gate, then it's properly metering the water that's leaving the lake. So that was actually designed by Cornelius Vermeil, who was the engineer in charge of wrapping up the Morris Canal infrastructure. Any other questions?
Good job, Tim.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Take
much, Dan.
Have a good night. Take care.
One fact about Dan is he probably has every newspaper article back to the 1800s also, because I've seen many of them, and it's amazing actually to read some of them.
That's a habit I got from my mother.
Good night, thank you.
Stay warm.
The administrators report.
Mayor, excuse me, I'm sorry. Do you have an MSA report? Because those are also supposed to be quarterly with Lake Hopatcong reports.
We do not have one. I do not have one. I wasn't given one, so no, I don't have one. Okay, moving on to administrators report.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. You all know that I've been working along with the CFO and staff on the budget. Seems that hopefully that's coming to a conclusion. Also met with the animal control officer as was requested about the amendment to the animal ordinance. We'll talk about that perhaps later on. Been a significant amount of work on the Department of Health right to know surveys, which we were unfortunately late for submittal on 2022. That's completed that, and also completed the ones for 2023. The next ones are not due for 2023 until July of 2024. Also had a great meeting with the police department. They're bringing in an interesting system called FirstNet that has a dashboard metering system on all of the cell phones. They can see what usage they are having for each of those phones, and start disconnecting phones that aren't being used, as well as throttling back usage on ones that don't need as much bandwidth, so they can save some money there. Also have a report from Department of Public Works. Mr. Mason reports that there was cleanup of downed trees on Hudson, Durban, and Michigan, hot patching, pickup broken curbing, some basin repairs, renovations on Major Field at Neriticon. Infields have been groomed, bleacher modified and relocated to Neriticon Field. On the utility side, a water main repair, a sump pump replacement, inventory for the water department parts, and valve exercising.
Anything else? That was it? Thank you. Moving on to public comment. Oh, yes, we'll do committee reports. Ed,
Enough at this time.
Okay, I wanted to congratulate Kevin, Xander, and Cole, and to their parents, because I know what a lot of work goes into Eagle. My son is not there yet. I hope that he gets there, but I know that parents and the boys did a tremendous amount of work. I wanted to also congratulate, we have some really talented students in our schools. They've won awards with art. Aliana Acevedo, Jessica Colgan, Kayla Law, Natalia Joanna Roman actually won 4 awards. And her art is going to be exhibited, all of these kids. Dennis Portillo Velasquez, Olivia Sachet, Ava Zoluka, Alexa Venti. Sussex County Community College is having a gallery exhibit from March 12th to the 28th. The Sussex County Arts and Heritage Council is having a teen arts exhibit in May sometime. Bristol Glen Select Teen Arts exhibit in Bristol Glen in Newton from April 15th to the 21st. The New Jersey State Teen Arts Festival is from June 4th to the 6th. And those students are having their artwork. Some of those students are having their artwork displayed. I wanted to congratulate Michelle Iannuzzi as the New Jersey School Counselor Association Counselor of the Year. The Marching Chiefs are going to be playing the Devils game tomorrow, which is very exciting. The Easter egg hunt is on Saturday, 3/23 from 12 to 3 with the rain date of 3/24 from 12 to 3. You can come and see me and my husband. We're going to be cooking and serving hot dogs. We're very excited. And I wanted to wish everybody a very happy Easter on March 31st. That's all.
Brian?
I do. Chamber of Commerce events coming up. Tomorrow night is the business after hours from 5 to 7. The next B2B breakfast is April 9th. The next chamber meeting is April 12th. Over at the Sussex County Municipal Utilities Authority. They're collecting e-waste every day, so you don't have to go to an e-recycling event. You can actually bring your electronic waste at any point in time when they're open. The next e-recycling event is April 13th. The next paper shredding event date is April 19th. And they just started up their boat shrink wrap program. It's back and it'll be inactive. It'll be active until through July. So if you have boat shrink wrap you want to get rid of, take it up to the Sussex County Municipal Utilities Authority. And that's all I have. Thank you.
The shredding event, I know there's been a lot of questions about shredding event. It's at the Sussex County Municipal MUA.
Yeah, the MUA.
Okay,
It's up there on 94.
SCMUA. Got it. Thank you. Thank you.
If you, for any information on that, you can always go to the website at scmua.org.
Thank you very much. Sorry.
I also want to congratulate Kevin, Xander, and Cole on their tremendous accomplishments and their service to the community. I also hope to see everybody at the Easter egg hunt. We have 10,000 eggs this year, so not just the kids can get some, the adults can get some too. We still have that kid inside. April 21st is the Women's Club Fashion Show, so please, if you have any questions or want to buy a ticket, send me an email and I can send you the information. I also just want to let everybody know, there is a poll worker job fair on Tuesday, March 26th from 12 to 8 at the Board of Elections office at 83 Spring Street in Newton. Poll workers earn $300 for the day. They can work for the primary election in June, the general election in November, and any special or school elections, and there's no prior experience necessary. And also just please encourage everybody to look at the Hopatcong Borough website for the flag contest. It's a very historic event for the town. We should all be proud to have an opportunity to create something that will be here for years to come after us. That was it.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we will open up the meeting to the public.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So the public, you are allowed to come up and speak for 5 minutes. You can talk about anything that you'd like that's on the agenda. There is a second public portion at the end of the meeting where you can talk about anything and everything that you would like. Anybody like to speak?
I'm the only one.
There's a second public comment. Maybe it'll come up later for others. You
Maybe.
never know.
Okay. Joanne Kozlowski, 18 Reading Road. And I'll be here for 40 years. And there was 3 issues that made me come tonight. Snow, rain, whatever, 3 issues. And the first one was on March 7th at 9:30 a.m. I was jolted, literally jolted out of my seat, my dog and I, because of the Picatinny blasts. My house shook, my window shook, and I figure as a bird flies, I must be at least 7-8 miles from Picatinny. And it was bad. I've been here a long time. We've put up with Picatinny doing their blasting, but this one was bad. It made me go outside, check my foundation, make sure everything was okay. It was bad. So I would like to know, I'm a little bit upset we don't have Mikey Sherrill. Okay, personally. She has helped me on little issues. She calls you, she talks to you, so as a resident of Apacon, should I contact our congressman? Should I contact Mikey Sherrill? Because I'm not sure when the area was changed, who I contact. Because I'm willing to stick my neck out and say, hey, enough is enough.
I have a contact for you.
Okay,
So it's Congressman Kane's office is who is our congressman, and Congressman Kane's office is actually in this room the first and third Monday of every month,
okay.
from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
So is he aware of what happened?
If you were to speak to them, they have direct lines that go right into the office, and they do all of their work right from this room. So it would be a great place for you to come and speak to them.
On
and
the
ask-
first and the third?
First and the third Monday of every month.
Okay, we're on the third now, right?
Yeah, the third one just passed, so the
So
next.
April 1st. is the
April-
next one.
Okay,
And we still have the flyers, right, Maria, in the entryway, when you
Yes.
come in, there's flyers, so you have to take one.
I mean, I'm all for our military, don't get me wrong, but this is ridiculous. I thought my dog was gonna have a stroke. I literally took him to my vet yesterday. And we were trying to figure out what to do, and I refused to sedate him. So we came up with the solution of put him in the car and drive him around for 2.5 hours. I mean, it was bad.
Mhm.
It was bad. My second issue is, do we still have that 10-year contract with Optimum?
Yes, we do.
That's a problem. They're raising us up the wazoo. We have no competition and they know it.
Yes.
And to get raised 37% and to have them lie to you, negotiate a price, the bill comes in, it's $30 more. You call up, oh, well, there's nothing we could do about it. When does that end?
We're currently renegotiating the contract with Optimum right now.
You are.
Mm.
So that they could still be the only one in
They are
town?
the only one in town. They're the
So if
only one that
if Planet
ever-
Network wanted to come in,
No, that's different. Planet Network is fiber, so Planet Network has intentions of coming into this area, but it's about a year and a half away.
yeah, I talk to them all the time. I'm also emailed with T-Mobile. Because this is ridiculous. They just turn, oh, we're gonna give you $20 off a month being a member since 1984. The bill comes in, I call up, oh, we're allowed to cancel that. We should have never gave that to you in the beginning. They got us. And and the other issue is they don't care. So we're getting hit with this, we're getting hit with that, and they just don't care. And to sign long-term contracts, I was purchasing for 40 years. I don't know how I feel about that. Okay, don't want to waste any more time.
It's okay.
My third issue is I read about the animal thing, okay? I know of most people pick up after their dog. I know someone who no matter, here's a bag, pick up after you, I don't have to pick up. It's the woods, in between the pumping station on Carteret to Lucas, twice a day, no matter what. So I read everything online about your new ordinance. How do I enforce that? Do I have to take pictures of her? Do I have to follow her around? How do I enforce her to comply with the law? That's my other question, because it's very, very frustrating to have someone come up to your face and say, I don't have to pick up. So that was my third issue for coming. And then I snuck in one more. Okay, most people know I had the issue with the spotlight. I was calling it a floodlight. I found out it was the spotlight, okay? I know Jen really tried to help me, like a lot, okay? But the coffee cup is the one who helped me the most. Everybody, Sue, I go to fill out the paperwork here. Oh, you gotta know the code. What code? How do I know what code? Okay, I could tell you about manufacturing. I could tell you about my whole career. I don't know anything about codes. So I call him Officer Jimmy. He actually took the time and gave me the code. And because of the code, I was able to come here and sue and get it done. But 7 months, okay, 7 months. So I have a suggestion. Maybe we should bring back a coffee cup. That maybe once a month we could come and sit and talk about issues and see what the police, because I went into my car was totaled on July 12th. Okay, guy ran a stop sign, blah, blah, blah. I couldn't get the report. I go to the lawyers were sending me the report. Lawyers were sending me the report. So I go to the Apacon police. Do you know you can't see anybody? You don't even know who you're talking to. Here, fill out an Oprah. Come back next week. It's like, what? We need a coffee cup. We need someone that we could sit down and talk to.
Mhm.
And we could make laws, we could do this, we could do that, but nothing gets enforced. Okay, I could be walking, I walk my dog twice a day. Somebody flies down the road, no front license plate. Because that's the cool thing to do now. Okay, my nephew finally got caught in Pompton Lakes. Okay, you know how many cars I see in a Apacon with no front license plate? All this stuff hanging from the rear view mirror. Tinted windows, you don't know if it's a man or a woman. I know it's hard. I know it's hard with the ATVs. 10 ATVs came out this weekend from the woods. 10. Like a parade going down towards Durbin Ave School. Okay, I know we can't chase them. I know because of the laws. But as a community, there's gotta be something that we can do
Yes, yes.
to make things better.
Well, I've written all of these things down, and our next meeting that we have with the chief, I will certainly bring all
On
of
the
those things up.
Picatinny thing. So you don't think I should contact Mikey Sherrill?
Mikey Sherrill's not our Congress
But isn't she
representative.
part of Picatinny?
She is part of Picatinny,
Right.
but you're probably gonna get better results speaking to your.
Well, I would think that
congressman.
she could talk to Picatinny. She's been in the Air Force for 10 years. And I hate to say it, she's a go-getter.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna go that
You
route
can do,
too.
you let us know what
Okay,
happened.
and then I'll come back on April 1st, you said?
April 1st is when they're here, the first, yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
I have one comment.
Sure.
Just so you're aware, I have Optimum as well, or I used to. I have Altice. They're owned
That's
by,
the same thing.
they're owned by Optimum, but my rate is a lot lower than what it was. Just something to look into in the
Yeah, I
interim.
negotiated, every year I negotiated. They pushed me out to January. I asked why. Because I negotiate in December. You know why? Because they raised all the rates in January. So I get on the phone, I get quoted a rate, $17 increase. I accepted it. The bill comes in, $40 more. I call up, I said, who, and I gave the person's name. They don't know who you talk to, but it's all from Texas. So they said, oh, there's nothing we could do. I said, well, wait a minute, you quoted me. I asked for a confirmation number. We don't give confirmation numbers. So then they said, we don't know how she came up with that price. Oh, so January 12th, they said $20 was longtime users. My bill ends January 21st. January 22nd, they took it away. Because management could do what they want. And that's the issue. So now I'm still fighting them. I'm still, we're gonna do this for 3 months. Oh, but your bill came in already, so we can't do it this month. Pay the extra $40. And the next 2 months, we'll give you that, then you gotta call back and fight again. It's ridiculous.
Yes, it is ridiculous, but
It
thank
really
you.
is. So I think that's something that you guys should really consider. They are not gonna leave Hapagcom. Trust me, they are not gonna leave Hapagcom.
Anyone else from the public?
As far as the ordinances, can we get them highlighted so we know when you put it online or something, so we know what's changed?
Oh, red line.
Yeah.
Because the speaker doesn't pick up your question.
So could we get them like highlighted so we know what's coming out and what's going in? So we don't have to print something out and try to read both of them and see what's going on?
Yes, we
And
can.
there's a highlight that's not on the agenda, but could we get extra leaf pickup because everybody's blowing over everybody's yard, so like tumbleweeds with the wind and the weather?
You mean pick up for leaf bags?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of people who are cleaning up what didn't get cleaned up.
When does
I
that
will
start?
I will certainly ask, Mara.
Thank you.
When does that start? We pick up soon, right?
Anyone? Oh, sorry, I didn't-
Lynn Ritchie. I listened in on the budget meeting and that was great and I really appreciate you putting that online. It was very enlightening, extremely professional. I cannot believe we're paying a $5,000 internet bill for the Wellness Center for the year. I honestly don't know what to say for the center, which I have nothing against. I've donated too many a times. They're not a 40-hour-a-day business. They don't have 200 people sitting there, and I don't understand how that bill is $400 and some odd a month to equate $5,000 a year. And I'm wondering why no one's ever looked into it. So that's from the budget meeting.
I can answer that, though. We are looking into it now, and it's actually one of the things that we're trying to negotiate into the franchise fee with Optimum is to
Right.
actually get free service. So hopefully that,
And I know the Planet Network's gonna come in, and if we ever move to the senior center, they're gonna give it over there for free. And I think we should ask for everything from them.
that's exactly
because
what we're doing.
tired of companies coming in and taking advantage of our little niche community here. Number two, our bills get approved and they're all in a long line. So I just was enlightened in the budget meeting that every bill is tied to a business unit or a place that we're giving money to or a department. So there has to be a way to code that. So when the bills are there for all of you to approve, you know this is public works, you know this is police, you know this is senior center, and there's no mystery as to where the money's going. I don't know how all these years in a line of bills, you all approve them, not really knowing where they're aligned to and what they're really for. So my suggestion is maybe Excel, something, some software package has a coding thing that when you print them out, they can be broken up by business unit or department. Third, I swore in the fall, when we met at the fire department with the borough and the school about the school referendum. At that time, I spoke because I was very disappointed that I felt personally, in my opinion, the mayor and the council at that time did not support our Board of Education and our school. And I swear, and I'm going back to the videotape, and I'm gonna listen, but part of your past council and mayor's claim was education was going down, enrollment was going down. Lo and behold, you stated at the meeting that if the school board goes up and the bills go up and taxes go up, enrollment has increased. What changed in 6 months? That October, anti-referendum, it's going down. School taxes are coming up. we don't want to be blamed or held accountable for them. Enrollment's gone up. Thank you.
Thank you, Lynn. Anyone else have a comment? Dave?
I agree with the optimum problem, and I'm just wondering, when you're negotiating, are you negotiating for a period, a length of time, a price? In other words, what would you be negotiating?
So when you negotiate, it's a 10-year franchise. It's the Cablevision Optimum franchise. And they own the poles, they own the wires, they're not going anywhere. Joanne's right, they're staying. But because they are in our municipality, we have the ability to try to negotiate certain things and terms to them. We can't negotiate price, but we can certainly negotiate the fact that they can give us free internet, they can give us free cable for certain spots. We do have, with our cable franchise agreement, we do have, I believe it was $30 off to senior citizens, which is not negotiated into other cable franchises in other towns. And they actually made a comment to us about that, how it's still in there for our residents. So we try to negotiate in as much as we possibly can to get something out of what they're, because they're here.
Right.
There's nobody else. Verizon's not coming in. Nobody else is building infrastructure here. We're stuck with what we have. Planet Networks, the fiber company that, we were talking about having come into Hopatcon possibly in the next year and a half. That's fiber, but the poles, everything is, they own everything. So we're stuck with them. So we try to negotiate the best that we can. And it's really just permission for them to be here.
I see. And the $30 for senior citizens, because I never heard of it. Is that in the, do our senior citizens know about that?
I actually just heard it from when we were speaking with her a week or so ago. That was the first that I had ever heard that. I didn't realize that. So I don't have a lot of information from that because it was just our initial conversation with them. But it is on my list of questions to get more information about how we can, push that information out to the public.
Yeah, it might be good to put it in a senior citizen.
Of course.
publication or Whatever. When you come up to the resolutions and all, I would appreciate it if you could elaborate on
What the resolution is?
what it is actually. And I have one other thing is, I received this in the mail. I don't know how many of you got this. Hopatcong City Council members need to hear from you. Did anyone get this?
I didn't.
I got this in my mail, and it looks like it came from a council, though it's not a city council here. But it says, Hopatcong City Council members need to hear from you, and it's from his chief of police. And it looks like a scam.
It sounds like a scam.
Yeah, and I was wondering if the police department could look into this.
Would you leave it?
They want up to $1,000 on a donation, and then when you look at what they're spending the money on, it's all publicity, it's fundraising, and it's crazy. And they said that last year they got $6 million nationwide.
Hopefully from nobody here.
Hopefully not.
Send the check to me.
I will definitely give this over to Chief McCluskey just so that she's aware of it.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Can I clarify the $30 thing with him? It's been around for a while. If you look at, you have to read all the fine print on their bills. That's why I make them mail me a bill.
I see.
And when you negotiate prices like Rachel brought up, okay? They make your internet so low that it doesn't matter.
Okay, you guys can discuss that
Yeah,
later.
But that's-
Anyone else from the public?
I'll show you my bills.
I can believe them.
By retention. They'll help you more than any other service will. Listen. My name's Eric Saito. I'm the president of the project graduation for class of 2024. Short blurb on project graduation in case you don't know what it is. Basically, we raise funds to hold an event for our seniors the night of graduation. Basically, we take them, we would bus them to a location, keep them in that location overnight, and ensure that they have a good time, a safe, drug-free, alcohol-free environment that they can celebrate, and we don't have to worry about them driving around and such. Trying to keep them on 5 minutes. So
You're good.
basically what question I had. So in December, Environmental Commission had reached out to me and said they would be willing to give us a donation towards project graduation. I've been trying to go to environmental commission meetings, find a point of contact to follow up with that, but I have not been able to. So I'm just reaching out to you as the council to follow up on that and see if there's anything that could be done to, again, support this cause for our students.
Can you leave me your name and number and I will
Absolutely,
give you?
absolutely.
Hey, Eric, I also know that the Municipal Alliance is gonna be giving pretty decent donations
Yes.
to project graduation. as
Yes,
well.
yes, and Val did reach out to me,
Okay, good.
and I appreciate that.
Good.
To be completely transparent, we did get a late start, unfortunately. Typically, we start off in September, raising funds. We were not formed as a committee until probably November, rolled right into holidays. So we had our first major fundraiser was until February, which is Harlem Wizards.
Yeah.
Great success. We are doing well. Hopefully gonna meet our goal. But again, you know, every little bit helps. And again, good cause, something for our kids, something for them to look forward to. So yes, I'll email you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, perfect.
Maria just texted you.
Thanks, Mark.
It's okay.
I'll keep it anyway.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for your
Thanks,
time.
Eric.
Yeah, she did. Anyone else from the public? Motion to bring it back?
So made.
All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
Approval of minutes. We have the approval of the February 26, 2024 budget minutes. Christine is not eligible. Can I have a motion?
So made.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We have the approval of the minutes from March 6, 2024. Everybody is eligible for that. Can I have a motion for that?
So made.
All in favor?
Aye.
We don't have any correspondence this evening, so Dave, the only resolution that we have tonight on the agenda is the 2024-55, which is the bills list. So that one's it's pretty obvious. Can I have a motion for the bill list? Or, I'm sorry, does anybody need any checks removed?
I've got, anybody need any checks removed other than Councilwoman Johnson's listed for, which I'll give to
Yeah.
Valerie? Jen,
Oh, that was it.
that's a second. All right, Mayor, if I may, we'll remove for the first vote the following four bills, starting with 23-00274, 23-00778, 23-01782, and 23-01894.
Wait a second.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Hoppercamp,
Yes.
and this is for everything above
Except-
those four,
except.
okay. Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Roberts is not here. Ms. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Ms. Smith? Yes. Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mayor, if I may make a motion to pass the following bill list consisting of four bills. Again, consisting of 23-00274, 23-00778, 23-01782, and 23-01894.
And a second,
Second.
and a roll call.
Mr. Hoppercamp?
Yes.
Ms. Johnson?
Abstain?
Ms. Roberts is not here. Ms. Rodriguez?
Abstain.
Ms. Smith? Yes. Mr. Smith?
Yes.
We have no other resolutions this evening. Moving on to ordinances, we have ordinance 6-2024, amending chapter 231 vehicles and traffic. An ordinance of the Borough of Hopatcong, County of Sussex, and State of New Jersey, amending the Borough Code 231 vehicles and traffic.
Motion so made.
Second.
Discussion.
Discussion.
I have just one comment. It says in the third line, the chief of police in his absence. being that we have a female chief of police, and we have a slash her. And then I believe, Mara, this might be your point, what you were saying is, it might be helpful to the other council members, and I don't wanna speak for them, but if we're modifying any of our ordinances to see a red line copy, so we can identify what exactly is changing and being put in here. Sometimes these are very extensive documents, so to sit there and read, and then go back to what the original version is and read, to identify the changes, it would save a lot of time, to be very helpful for myself anyway. How do the other council people feel about that?
Duly noted. Roll call?
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Ms. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Okay, moving on. We have a final hearing for ordinance 4-2024, amending Article 1 Planning Board, an ordinance of the Borough of Hopatcon, County of Sussex and State of New Jersey, modifying Article 1 Planning Board.
Motion made.
Second.
Discussion?
Discussion.
Just a question, we no longer have a planning board,
Correct.
so should it be identified as the planning board, or was this taken from another municipality, just in this copy?
I'm gonna let,
Oh, you have a planning board.
But I thought we merged it just to land use.
It's a combined board, but it's still called a planning board.
All right,
I mean, the title of your ordinance, in that section is still the same.
okay. All right, I just wanted to clarify that. Sorry, that's just for my own
nope,
knowledge.
that's okay.
Okay.
We have a motion and a second.
Yes.
We have to open to the public. So can I have a motion to open up to the public?
So
for
made.
this?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So the floor is open for this ordinance and this ordinance alone. This is the ordinance 4-2024, amending the Article 1 for Planning Board. This is basically housekeeping. Our ordinance that we had does not support what the state statute is, and the state statute supersedes what our ordinances are. So we're just correcting it in our ordinance to match what the state statute is. Would anybody like to speak?
I'd like a little more clarification. We have a land use board which combines the planning and zoning, so I'd like a little more clarification on how that works. If we're separating them in our ordinances and stuff, how do you combine them when they're sitting there voting on something?
So as you know, the land use is the zoning board and the planning board merged at one. However, how we're titling this ordinance is what oversees the land use board, even though it's labeled here as planning board. Because there's no other ordinances that we have that would pertain to this anyway. And this is, if you've read it, this has to do with the class 4 positions and who appoints the class 4 positions. So it would only pertain to.
Well, that would be the same under the land use law though.
No, I'm talking about our ordinance in the borough states that it is the council's pleasure to choose the class 4s. The state statute supersedes it, so it's just correcting what's already on our books. This is on our books already, we're just
Right.
correcting.
So why can't we just change the name from planning, the ordinance for planning to land use?
Because it's not the same, right? Mara, it's different. The land use board is a combined board,
Right,
but there are times when it works as a planning board and times when it works as a land use board. When as a board of adjustment. When it works as a board of adjustment on certain types of variances, Marie and I, the class 1 and class 3 members, cannot
Right.
vote. When
Those are
we
class
are
B
included, it's
variances.
a planning board. When it's not included, it's a board of adjustment. So it's still the same body, but it still has separate duties as outlined in the municipal land use law.
right?
Okay, so our code has to have duties for the planning board and duties for the board of adjustment.
So when somebody decides to appeal, and some of the appeals go to the municipal and some of them go to the land use, should Councilwoman Smith's husband be voting on things that are going to be appealed to
He's
the
not on the
municipal?
board.
He's no longer
Oh,
on.
he's no longer on the board?
on land use.
His term expired.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mara. Anyone else? Motion to bring it back?
So many.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And the roll,
Yeah.
and the roll?
Mr. Hoppercamp?
Yes.
Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Ms. Smith? Mr. Smith?
Ordinance 5-2024 for animals, an ordinance of the Borough of Hacon, County of Sussex, and the State of New Jersey, amending the Borough Code to add new chapter 66 entitled Animals and delete chapter 248 entitled the same. I would like to ask the council to table this. We still have a little bit of work that we're doing with this.
So me.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Roll call?
Should be a roll call.
Yeah, there's roll call.
Mr. Hoppercamp?
Yes.
Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Ms. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
What are we?
We're tabling.
Tabling.
Yes.
Old business, we have nothing for old business. Our new business is the introduction of the 2024 municipal budget. We met on Monday and had a budget workshop where we were presented our budget from our CFO and our auditor, Ms. Sabachia. You have that in front of you. And we are, I'm asking you to make a motion to introduce the budget.
Motion made.
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Hoppercamp?
Yes.
Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Ms. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Thank you. Next new business, approval of the February zoning officers report.
So moved.
Just a little bit of discussion. So I don't know if you noticed these pages that are towards the bottom of the report that look like this. I was actually able to go into zoning and we were able actually to change the size of the font. So you can actually read them, because I think there were 4 when you tried to read them. Oh my God, it was
The
horrible.
electronic version is the only way I can read it.
So awful, it was awful. But thank you. Roll call?
Mr. Hoppercamp?
Yes.
Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Ms. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Moving on to public comment. The meeting is open to the public for 5 minutes. You can speak about anything and everything that's on the agenda or off the agenda. Motion to go.
Second.
You guys are too fast for me. I can't even take a breath. You're like this. You got it. Okay, all in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
Mayor, while people are coming up to the microphone, I just want to clarify that last back and forth about the planning board. I know people call the combined board the land use board. That's common nomenclature. The statute still calls it the planning board. It's a planning board that operates as a planning board and can also operate as a board of adjustment. So the phrase is proper from the statute. That's why it's not changed.
Thank you. Anyone from the public?
Since the clerk and the deputy clerk are responsible for the borough records, and since the recording of the meeting falls under borough records, why are we paying an employee to control the video recording? Do we have an answer as to why the last recording was altered twice, by whom and why? Why do we have the need for a deputy administrator when we never had one before, not even when we paid an administrator to sit home for 10 months and maybe work 10 hours a day for $140,000 a year? And our CFO is also the CFO in Andover and the deputy administrator. So I don't know how much time we have to be a deputy administrator. Who keeps the records for the wellness center? And are there books for the wellness center? And I think we had a misunderstanding there at the borough, at the budget meeting. When I asked about the raises, you said they were in the 2024 budget, but they would have had to been in the 2023 budget. And they're finance employees. Now, there seems to be a problem with the map too, because one was hired part-time in 10/18/22 for $40,000. Was hired full-time 11/1/2022, 40,000 with medical. They were separated in September 13th, 23. They were rehired as a new hire 10/6/23 for $51,200. And somehow effective 1/1/23, it went up to $52,500. So I can't find how that happened. The second one was hired as a principal payroll clerk, which I can't find that listed in civil service. They were hired 6/2/22 at 50,000 plus medical. They were promoted to senior payroll clerk, which is also not a civil service. I couldn't find title. 6/5/23 at 61,000. 11/2/23 at 64,050 with old PPS, which I don't know what PPS is $2,346.15, and the new one is $2,463.46. The raise was also authorized by Mike Francis on 6/15/24 with no signature. And I'd like to know where the resolution is because I can't find it. And I think last but not least, at the budget meeting on Monday, being that some of the remarks by the council have been insensitive, I would like to give Brad Hofferkamp the opportunity to speak to his repetitious referral to beans and rice, because it could be misconstrued as an ethnic slur, or at the very least abrasive to people that live in town.
Thank you, Mara. Mara, that's a lot to answer, by the way.
I
If you
know.
can send that to me,
I sure can.
it'd be very helpful.
Mayor, if I may, if there's no other
Absolutely.
comment, is there any other comments?
Anybody
I don't want to
else?
interrupt any other person coming up. That actual comment, by the way, was a live comment made in my presence. I can identify where it was at. I just would hate to do that. I don't want to bring any shame to anybody. It's not meant to bring any shame. It was just a hardship case. And that individual was helped. Came in basically a very close to destitute type of a situation. And that person said that they had been eating rice and beans and was looking for help. I didn't go into questioning that. Someone else was handling that. And it was not an ethnic person. I mean, it was I'll say it correctly, it was not an ethnic person. So that had nothing to do with any ethnic slur, Mayor. And
Thank you for
I
clarifying.
felt very sorry for this person. As unfortunately, we do have, having been in many homes in town, there are some people that suffer, and unfortunately, that's all.
Thank you for that, Bradley. Anyone else from the public?
I'm still concerned about the optimum thing.
I understand that, Joanne.
Yeah, if you look at the back of your bill, and I'll tell you this, Rachel. At any time, any day, they have the right to take away all your discounts without question. And that's one thing that really, they've been doing to me.
Mhm.
I mean, to get a $47 increase, that's a lot of money. I said, why don't you just take my whole social security increase?
Mhm. Understandable.
Yeah,
Anyone else from the public?
and if you need my help,
I have your number, Joanne. I'm good.
I'll help.
Absolutely. Anyone else? Motion to bring it back then? I just have a few comments. I don't know if, I know Rachel touched on it a little, but I don't know if anybody saw these hanging over town. These are the flyers for the flag design contest. And we're asking people to design a flag for the borough of Hopatcong because Hopatcong does not have a flag. When you go online, you will fill out an application and then you will fill out an entrant agreement. And then you will submit your design. I actually have 3 already. Which is kind of interesting. We are going to commemorate this flag and acknowledge the winner at our first Flag Day Parade on June 15th, which will be very exciting. In the realm of flags, Councilwoman Rodriguez took the initiative and actually reached out to Sussex County so that we can actually get our Sussex County flag in the council chambers. You can't see it because I'm really short. But thank you, Councilwoman Rodriguez, for putting Hopatcong on the map for Sussex County to be able to receive one of their nice flags.
Can I ask a question there? Do other towns have flags, official flags for their town?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And we want symmetry. So if we have a Sussex County flag, we'll have a Hopatcong
Yes.
flag.
Yes, that's the idea.
I thought ours
That's the
was
idea.
the Indian in the canoe. I thought
Just,
ours was the Indian in the canoe.
That's the crest.
that's the symbolism in the crest. That's not, and that's our logo. That's not necessarily a flag. And mentioning about the Women's Club again, the Women's Club Fashion Show. I know that Rachel said you can contact her online. I actually have tickets tonight if anybody wants to purchase tickets tonight. I do want to wish everybody a happy Easter, and I do want to acknowledge Kevin, Xander, and Cole again. It is really exciting to have the Eagle Scouts come through here. I do know the difficulty and the challenges that it takes on the scout themselves and the family, having Eagle Scouts in my family. So it's exciting to see that. And it's also great to promote something positive again about Hopakon, because there's a lot to be thankful for. And that's all I had. Motion to adjourn.
You want to go into executive session?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, we are going to executive session.
Motion made to go into executive session.
For a person, for a personnel matter?
Yes, no, the personnel.
Correct.
There will be no action.
Yeah, you should have said that.
So we're going to be going into closed session. We're going to be discussing personnel issues. When we come out of executive session, there will be no action taken whatsoever. Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, can you kick the or my contact? You got no chance.
Oh, you know what? I might actually ask them that. That's a bad idea. I like that.